Hello, and welcome to the second episode of
The Nobody
Asked For
This
Podcast.
We have, unfortunately,
Some bad news, if you will.
Some bad news.
The audio that you're about to listen to is not the same quality that you are currently listening to.
No, and this one is obviously very high quality, very highbrow, very high tech.
It's like we're sitting in the room with you.
But the audio you're about to hear for this episode is going to be as if our production team did not plug in the microphones that they were holding and thought that they were using for the entire 45 minutes of recording. I'm not saying that's exactly it, but that's what it's going to sound like.
More on our production team later on in the episode, because they just keep getting strikes left, right, and center.
So if anyone has a production team that they think, if they want to offer up their own production team, if you have a production team on retainer,
we might be looking for one, because ours kind of sucks.
Okay, well that hurt. Enjoy the episode.
She's from Ireland.
Ireland! I wish I was from Ireland. We've started recording.
The lips, the
Teeth, the tip of the tongue.
the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Do you think they're going to ask us to be on... Oh, I guess Glee's over.
Oh, and that's what you missed on.
Glee? Did you watch Glee?
Of course I watched
Do you know what I was thinking of about Glee?
How it was literally a fever dream, and Will Schuster's the creepiest man on TV.
Sure. I didn't actually watch it.
I gave up after they moved to New York.
They moved to
Spoiler.
New York. But what I was thinking was, remember in Firework? Katy Perry Firework?
Of course, we sang that in show choir.
Well, no, it's all coming back, because yes, we sang that in show choir. And in the lyrics, she's like, and the 4th of July. We changed it to...
The 1st of July.
And why that ties back to Glee is because we were victims of circumstance. We joined show choir. We didn't have to join show choir, but we were offered the opportunity to join show choir because it was during the time of Glee when show choirs were all the rage.
They were cool.
They were cool. So why I was thinking that was, do you think like people in other countries change the lyrics 4th of July to like whatever their Independence Day is?
Well, I don't think anyone else has it in July, so I don't know that it works.
No, but that's my point. Like, did we just get lucky that we could change it to
Oh,
the
we definitely got lucky.
1st of July? It's something to think about.
Yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna have to think really hard about this.
Do you know any other like Independence Days, like the date of them? We'll see if they fit.
I'm pretty sure Croatia has one in like April or something. Actually, that country has like 15 different Independence Days. It's like War and Freedom Day, like Independence Day, something other day.
International Because Day.
Yeah, they have days for everything.
It's like I could always get my mom to get us like a snack or something if I told her, hey mom, it's International Pretzel Day. Then she's like, well, okay,
That's
we
so
have to
funny.
get pretzels.
I was thinking pretzels right as you said pretzels.
Well, there you go. I wish you said them. We said at the same time.
Our brain cells.
That would have been a great promo for the podcast. Which, speaking of, welcome to episode 2 of the Nobody
Asked for this
podcast. We have double the amount of episodes that we did.
We made it to 2, you guys. That's a big deal. To all the people who thought we wouldn't make it past 1, fork you.
Mm-hmm. And
You didn't even have to bleep that.
to all the people that are taking bets on if we'll make it to 3, I'm going to say we are.
I think so too.
I would say so, yes.
I believe in us.
Mm-hmm. So how's your week been? We haven't been talking. We don't talk as much as we usually do because we're trying to, keep it fresh for the pod.
Content for you, the viewers in Nebraska.
We're practicing abstinence, conversational abstinence for this podcast.
For the benefit of all you.
Of you. So how was your week?
Pretty boring. I didn't do much.
Well, you kind of did.
Did I?
You did. Because we both did.
Oh my god, I haven't seen you since then?
No.
Whoa.
Everybody, you're looking at 2 convicts. We've both been convicted.
We've both been convocated.
We've been convocated. I'm pretty sure if you translate it, it's convicted. Do you want to tell everyone our amazingness?
We are now the proud owners
of 2 coffee cup holders, coasters.
AKA
Also known as
bachelor's degrees.
Yes, we did it.
We did it, Joe.
We did it. The whole day. I couldn't stop saying we did it, Joe. Now, as the way our university does it is there's different days, like different faculties go on different days.
I mean, we were unfortunately on different days.
But I think it worked out because, like, you got your day and I got my day. Because I think if two of us had a big day on the same day, there would have been a trouble. There would have been some sort of...
There would have been some tension, some drama.
It would have been like Bride Wars.
My co-star today told me to avoid the drama, so...
Can you explain quickly for people who don't know what co-star is?
Oh my god, of course I can. So co-star is an app.
It's not sponsored.
I wish it was, though. Co-star, please. Actually, I think they're kind of problematic. But
okay.
Anyway.
And we're just going to tell you what it is. This is not a seal of support.
This is not an endorsement. This is just what it is.
Yeah,
an explanation.
Yeah.
Co-star is a social media app that takes your birth chart, aka your zodiac sign, and links it with your friends, and you get fun little notifications and updates, and you can see your chart in relation to other people's charts. For those of you wondering, yes, I am a Cancer Sun, Libra Moon, Scorpio Rising. Do with that information what you will. Francesco is a Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Scorpio Rising.
I knew I was a Taurus. I recently figured out that I was a Taurus. I didn't know that I was the risings. Can you, like, just very briefly, we'll get back to why we talked about this in the first place, but very briefly, can you explain, like, what influences each? Like,
so your sun sign is like who you are at your core.
Right.
Your moon sign is how you deal with your emotions, how you are deep down.
Okay.
And then your rising...
How deep? Like Gupdate deep? Do we have to put a trigger warning?
We'll get to the Gupdate later.
Okay. Do you have a good one?
No.
Okay.
You?
I hope not. We'll figure it out.
I mean, yesterday was rough, but we'll get to that.
Okay, yeah.
And then your rising sign is how the world perceives you. Like the man on the street that you avoid.
But then how
he perceives you.
Okay. So if at my core,
Taurus.
I'm a Taurus. I'm two Tauruses.
You're a whole lot of...
I didn't know that. But is that how people perceive me?
No, they perceive you as a Scorpio. God.
Which is good, right?
I mean, I'm also one, so I think so.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so all of this to say, we had two separate convocation times.
Can you tell we're arts majors and like to say things the long way to hit that word count for our essays?
Mm-hmm. We learned. What was your favorite strategy in how to lengthen the word count?
Say the same thing twice in two different ways.
Exactly. And this goes into what we were going to talk about. We were going to talk about just give the people some tips on how to get our bachelor's degrees.
How to survive university. Because we did. We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe. We are convicts. We are officially convicted.
I like to think we're bachelors.
I guess you have
Where's our rose?
Bachelor's.
Where are our roses?
We have accepted this rose.
What's his name? Chris?
Well, he got canceled, I think. I don't know who the new...
We're talking about a lot of canceled things this episode. Maybe we should do a whole episode about cancel.
Well, here's the problem, is that if you do it, you talk about a lot of canceled stuff, and then you eventually get canceled, then it's like, why were you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit hypocritical. A bit hypocritical, love.
You know what? We'll pray on this.
Just a smidge. We'll add it to our production meeting. So, excuse me? Yes, assistant in the corner. Can you please just write on our... No, that's our dinner order. No, not that binder. Not that binder either.
Also, where's my coffee? This one's cold, and I asked for a new one.
But you got an iced coffee.
No, I got a hot coffee.
Yikes.
Anyway, this system I need to get fired, but back to
us. How dare we stray from us for 1 second. So we're going to be honest, guys. Are we the best students?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Did we get the piece of paper that said we were good enough to pass?
You bet we did.
Absolutely. And what I thought was so funny is, did you recognize during the actual ceremony? Because we did the whole thing. We wore the cap and gown. We
got the little
not
pin
parachuted. What's processed? We processed.
What was that thing called that we had to wear around?
Oh, I don't know what any. I didn't know what any of the things.
Was that a sash? Insert picture here.
In the audio version of this podcast, yes. In our world, it was a sash.
Yeah.
I don't know that they would call it a sash because, like I said, it was very formal. They kept. Did you ever notice people kept like all of the major people, the people that were speaking, the people that seemed to be, high up in the university heads, they were all wearing these fancy hats.
Yeah.
And anytime they passed each other, they would, like, tip their hat.
Oh.
For people that can't see this. Well, no, because I don't think we were that special. I think they were,
I mean, we don't have the fancy hats. We just have the funny hats.
We don't have the fancy hats. And can I tell you, the hat that we did have gave me a migraine. Full migraine.
Do you want to know what I think it was?
What?
I think it's because we both have very large heads.
Because the bigger the brains. I would say, out of that whole 4-year experience, my biggest tip is, not necessarily tip, I'm not telling you to do this, but I'm just telling you what I did. I didn't read one book. I was an English major and a psych major. Okay, maybe towards the end I read a couple books, but like you don't really need to read the books. So I'm going to say maybe use your time elsewhere. You don't have to use it in the elsewhere that I did, which is watching TV and like eating takeout Chinese food. Like you could maybe study for other classes, maybe work on your projects, maybe don't do them the night before like I did. Or do. Here's my theory on procrastination. If I started an assignment a week before and worked on it a little bit each week, I've infected 7 days with schoolwork. If I do it the night before, yeah, I'm under a little bit of pressure, but I've just ruined the memory of that one day.
But you know what else is made under pressure? Diamonds. So really,
I mean, you know,
we win.
We win.
My biggest tip is to blast the Hamilton soundtrack and pace the library floors for inspiration. That's what I did. And you know what? My last university paper, I got an A+. So I think
that's full circle.
Causation, correlation, there you go.
All the Asians. But you mentioned the library. I would just like to clarify, not the school library.
No, I never actually stepped foot in my school library. I mean the public library by my house.
Yeah. I think that's quite an accomplishment to make it there. Do you know how Candy Crush, like they would give you certain badges?
Yeah.
Like you defeated 3 levels. I think you should get a badge for that.
I think I should. I think I should actually get another
A separate certificate. The never used a library resource certificate. So anyway, any other tips before we move on?
Make at least one friend who can edit your papers. I think that's an actually useful tip.
Find a smart friend.
Yeah, we didn't have one.
We didn't have one. We just had each other, which we made do.
Might have made it work.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. But we tried.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would say? If you're struggling in university or you're about to, hey, it's almost summer, which means fall's coming up.
Hot girl semester.
If you're starting school in the fall, don't worry about it. Everything, do you know how many people have done this before you? That's what I kept thinking. I'm like, dumber people than me have succeeded at this.
Oh, 100%. I think that all the time. It's actually a really good life skill to have. Whenever you're struggling through something, just think of all the idiots that have done this before me.
Yeah, and you don't even have to think of yourself as better than the idiots. You just have to be one of the idiots.
Yeah.
One of the idiots.
You're just as capable as all those idiots.
# one of the idiots. OOTI. I'm going to get that on my lower back tattoo.
No, that's on our lip.
Our lip tattoo.
Our lip tattoo.
Okay, so I have to say something. I have a confession to make. It's not so much a confession, but we have to explain ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain our lip tattoo story? Because we just passed the date of what it was going to be a year ago.
Yeah.
And you'll know what that means.
So we decided that halfway... Okay, let me just backtrack even more because I need more context. Basically, Francesco's birthday is in May, and mine is in July.
As we went over with our star signs, I'm sure everyone's figured it out. They
Taurus
reverse engineered our star signs.
Anyway, we decided that in between both of our 21st birthdays, we were going to get matching inner lip tattoos because no one can see them and they fade in however many months, allegedly.
And if you're thinking the dentist can see them, we know we thought of that after, but we'll get to that.
Shout out to my dentist. You're a baddie.
Do you think your dentist would care if she saw your inner lip tattoo?
Well, my dental hygienist definitely wouldn't. She's a bad bleep. My dentist, he already hates me because I have no cavities ever, so...
Like, not good for business.
Not good for his business, apparently. My perfect teeth.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? So yeah, we're going to get matching inner lip tattoos, and they went through a number of variations. We were going to do vodka and ranch.
Well, it started as matching, and then we're like, okay, well, I guess we could do not matching, but we'll just get them at the same time and it'll count. Yeah. Because we have different interests.
We're different people.
But then we have similar interests, but none of the similar interests seemed to...
Be good on an inner lip.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, that was supposed to be about a year ago, sometime in June last year.
And this was planned, I want to say, about 2018 or 19. So we had, and I'm not going to name...
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, no, it was planned like at least before. Like, we didn't decide that day. We had that day. Do you know why I know that we did it before?
Why?
Because coronavirus hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
And what got us out of it
was that no one was doing procedures under the mask. You couldn't get your nose pierced. You couldn't get your lip tattooed.
No.
It's really a brutal time for everyone who wanted to go through some sort of physical change.
Physical change. And you know, it was a terrible time to not be able to go through that physical change because we were all on Zoom.
Yeah.
All looking at our faces.
All the time.
Picking out the flaws, and we couldn't do anything about it. It was terrible. But here's the thing. I think deep down, I don't know that we were ever going to get them.
I would have done it. I don't know about you,
I think I would have done it, but I can't say that I was mad when, obviously, the pandemic was terrible, but when we had that excuse, it wasn't as bad. So I believe the date was June 5th.
Ooh.
June 5th, 2021. It didn't happen.
Nope.
We just passed June 5th, 2022. I think the pandemic's, thawing a little bit. It's not over, but it's thawing.
I think so, too.
I think by next year,
But
I think next June 5th.
Is monkeypox coming?
If monkeypox comes, I don't think we're ever supposed to get this tattoo. So maybe we can get nobody asked for this.
You know what?
Do you know what? I think
if we get 1 million subscribers.
Okay, well maybe if we get 10 subscribers. No, what's like a reasonable 5,000?
I think we could go 100.
100 period or 100,000? You think?
When we blow up, duh.
Oh, that's true. Okay, 100. At 100,000, we'll get something podcast related.
Yeah.
Or if something pops up,
you get bought, I'll get cash.
I'll get nobody. You get asked, and then we'll have to figure out for this NA. I'll get NA. You get FT.
Okay. It'll look like you're saying nah, and I'm saying FaceTime. FaceTime? Nah.
Nah. We'll go backwards. Okay, so I was reading something now. In the one episode history, you might have noticed that we aren't necessarily going to talk about, super topical lotions, topical events, topical creams, current events, just because we have an understanding that, in the beginning, not many people are going to listen. So if you're listening to this in 5 years, we hope that it's not, dated. You can still relate to what's going on.
That it's not giving 2022, but it's giving eternal. Getting timeless.
And we'll be the same idiots that we are in 2028. So, really, we are. Until we expire, we're not going to go stale.
No.
So, but what we're about to talk about, I read earlier this week, and I just thought, okay, well, this is history. This isn't necessarily just for the now. This event will be talked about, this person will be talked about, and has been talked about for decades.
For a long, long time.
Kata, tell them who this person is.
And that is our dear friend, Lizzie Liz, the Queen of England.
The Queen of England.
Queen Elizabeth II.
She just completed her 70th year on the throne.
That's older than a lot of people.
Most people don't remember. And even if you were alive, you probably don't remember. Who was the person before her? Was it a king or a queen?
Her dad?
Yeah, it was her dad. Mm-hmm. So she must have been young, but not too young, because she's, 90-something?
5 billion?
90, in between 90 and 5 billion, somewhere there. I want to say she's 96. She's old. She was
born in 1926.
2026 is
not that far
tangible.
Away. Well, I've seen a lot of theories that she's actually dead, and they're just trying to pretend that she's still alive to make her the longest reigning monarch.
I heard that, and I actually believed that. But then we saw her, and she was waving and saying pretty much "F you" to everyone that thought she was dead.
Or was it a hologram?
Technology is getting pretty good.
There's a whole ABBA hologram concert you can go see.
I saw that, and they were they showed up to their own concert.
Yeah.
So it's not that they couldn't do it; they just didn't feel like it. They said, "We're gonna do this once, and you're gonna hologram it, and we're gonna make billions as if it was us."
Yeah.
Can we do that?
I don't know who will want to see this in a hologram.
Well, the 100,000 people that are going to be there when we get our tattoos. Yeah, that's true.
Side note, should we close the door for the better audio?
We could, yeah. But it's so far away.
It's so far away.
I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Lizzie Liz. Okay, so I thought in celebration, truly. Wait, is speaking of cancels, is Lizzie is there some?
Well, there's a lot of drama with the English monarchy as a whole, the British monarchy.
So it's similar to Co-Star.
We do not associate with them. We just would like to talk about them.
Yeah, it's just commentary. It's just social commentary. So in honor of her reaching this milestone, which by the way, she's the second longest reigning monarch in world history. The only one that was longer than her was a Louis. I think King Louis the 14th or something, 15th, he ran for...
Was it the Sun King?
He reigned for 72 years. from the years 1643, I have it written down, to 1715. And she is the only one in the top 25. Like, if you go to Wikipedia...
That's a woman?
No, at all. That's still ruling.
Oh.
So when she makes this record, hopefully she, stays alive.
Definitely the only woman. It was Louis XIV.
What if she croaks, like, the day before she would break the record?
That would be so embarrassing.
It's like when all the magazines said, Betty White turns 100. And she, unfortunately, she didn't turn 100.
Speaking of croaking and the British monarchy.
Love where you're going with this.
I'd like to talk about one of my favorite things, Taylor Swift.
Mm.
And how when Fearless, Taylor's version, was released, it killed Prince Phillip.
Allegedly.
No, I think it did.
I know scientists were looking into it. Had they come back with a report?
The shock of that album coming back and being owned by the Taylor Allison Swift, who now holds a PhD, so please refer to her as doctor, was just too much for his old heart to handle, that he just went, gotta go.
Can you just very quickly explain the significance behind a Taylor's version versus a non-Taylor's version?
Oh my god, I'm so happy you asked.
Yeah, go for it.
Basically, Taylor Swift, the music industry, one of the greatest artists of all time, if not the greatest artist of all time, does not own her masters.
Can you explain what that means?
Which means that all of the albums she originally put out, so her debut album, Fearless, Speak Now, Red, 1989, and Reputation, those albums are owned by her old record label, who decided to, without her consent, sell them to the highest bidder. And when she offered to buy them herself so she could own, all the music she wrote, she recorded, her life's work, was denied. So now, to say a big F you to all of those men that basically bought her life, she's deciding to re-record all those albums so that she owns them and basically devalue the original work, which I think is a baddie move.
So you think that when Prince Phillip... Do you think he even listened to it, or he just heard about it?
I think he knew that the day came, and he just went, this is too much.
And he went... He was fine with the incest. He was fine with all the shady things that happened in the monarchy before that, but it just...
But he knew that this woman was taking back one of the best albums of all time. Right. Fearless.
All right.
Stream Fearless Taylor's version, please.
Well, thank you for explaining that key part of history.
I think that's a actually bigger moment than the Queen Elizabeth becoming the second longest reigning monarch.
We can have a party for her when she reaches, I think it's like 72 years and 100 and something days to beat one of the Louis. So in commemoration, in recognition of her reaching this milestone, which is really a milestone for us all, we're all living during the time of one of the longest reigning world monarchs in history, I would like to play a game called Does Queen Elizabeth Care? Now for this game, can I get a member of the studio audience who wants to join? Any volunteers? Anyone?
Me.
Anyone?
Me.
Anyone else?
I do.
Anyone?
Me.
Okay, you in the black hoodie, please come down. Please tell us your name and favorite Mary-Kate and Ashley movie. Go.
My name is Katie, and my favorite Mary-Kate and Ashley movie is, I can't just pick one, but I think it's To Grandmother's House We Go.
That's my favorite one, yeah. Passport to Paris, close second. But To Grandma's House We Go. Is that the Christmas one?
You should know.
I think it's a Christmas one. Okay, so now in this game, we're going to play Does Queen Elizabeth Care? So, Queen Elizabeth, please don't sue us. This is all alleged. Basically, everything we say ever it's alleged.
Yeah.
We know nothing.
Nothing is #confirmed.
Don't sue us. We have nothing.
We claim to know nothing.
Like, if you went to sue us, you'd be like, oh my god, they have actually no money. We don't. Like, I always say, I feel bad.
They have negative cents in their bank account.
If anyone ever stole my wallet, I would feel bad for them. Because it's like, there's going to be nothing in there. So we are going to play Does Queen Elizabeth Care? Now, I'm going to tell you, player, Kata, from the live studio audience, because we're going to
Spoiler, it's me. I'm Katie.
I'm going to say a topic, maybe a wacky news headline, maybe a concept, and we're just going to try and guess. We're going to figure this out together. Does Queen Elizabeth care?
Ooh, fun.
Are you ready?
I love games.
On your mark.
Get set.
There's no time on the clock. It's unlimited time, but there's 34 seconds or 34% on the laptop battery.
Oh, perfect.
Which, if you listen to our last episode, was an issue.
Major issue.
Major issue. But I think it wrapped us up quicker.
Yeah.
So if this episode is 2 hours, maybe people are going to want us to go with the dead laptop theory. Ready? On your royal mark, on your royal set. And a royal go. Number 1, rising gas prices. Does Queen Elizabeth care?
No, she doesn't need to drive anywhere.
No, she goes by horse and buggy.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't need to care. Number 2, the impending sriracha shortage due to bad weather which caused low chili count.
I don't think so because she's British and British people can't really do spicy food. They're kind of bland.
I feel like she doesn't taste food.
She definitely has a royal taster.
No, but like I more so in the sense like I don't think she has like senses anymore. Like I don't think
she's so old.
Well, not even old, but like I think when you're in that position of power, you have to like cut off feeling.
Oh.
And I think she's not really in power. Let's be real. Like, what does she do?
Well, I mean, she's the ceremonial head of the British Commonwealth and monarchy.
But she's not like making tough decisions.
No, I don't think so.
No, but
I mean, the toughest decision is to not talk to Meghan Markle and Harry anymore. Oh. Were you silent? Or were you silent?
I don't think she tastes food. I don't think she gives a flying fork about the sriracha shortage, unfortunately. Okay, 3. Does Queen Elizabeth care about the fact that she shared a great-great-grandmother with her husband, the late Prince Phillip? Like, there's definitely...
Here's the thing. I think yes, because monarchs are always like, keep it in the bloodline. You know, they're trying to, like, keep that royal blood flowing and thick.
Mm-hmm.
That's why so many of them have, like, weird diseases, because they were all related to each other and then procreated. Fun facts with Kata.
So you think she does care?
I think she does care. I think she did it on purpose. But also, like,
okay.
The British Isles are quite small. Like, there's only so many people. Like, you're gonna end up
with
a cousin.
But here's the thing. It's one thing to just completely not know that you share it. Because I'm sure that happens all the time.
Oh, they had to know.
But they knew. And they can trace it back to, like, Grandmommy Victoria.
Because they're British. They're monarchs. This is what they do.
Do you think that's why Harry was like, I'm marrying someone not from this country?
Maybe. He's like, they're not a cousin.
Yeah, no. See ya. Next one.
Actually, I think Kate and William are somehow related too.
Yay.
Big X. Anyway, next question.
Next question. Does Queen Elizabeth care that everything went on Zoom during COVID?
Yes, because I don't think she knew what Zoom was before.
But she wasn't the one that probably had to figure it out.
Oh, no. They just set it up and we're like, Zoom. And she's like, where am I Zooming?
She's like, what the hell is this?
Zooming?
What is this bollocks? Do you think she, like, zoomed from the throne? Is there a throne?
You know what? Let's text her and ask.
Like, is there a royal throne? Like, does she
There's gotta be.
There's gotta be. So I would...
Well, have you never seen the pictures of her sitting on them with, like, a royal sash and her crown and her long little gloves?
I thought it was cosplay. I can never tell if it was real or not, but...
Was it Photoshop?
Was it Photoshop? But if I were her, I'd be like, you're setting up that computer
Do you think she knows what a computer is?
Well, if she had to do Zoom, she definitely did. But then that gets back to, is her job important enough that she needed to go virtual? I don't know. We don't know. Next question, number 5. Does Queen Elizabeth care that Netflix prices are rising? Are your
Once again, I'm
Scorpio
gonna go
rising?
No,
I don't think she knows what Netflix is.
Or if she does, she doesn't like really care about paying for it because she's rich.
She's a rich. Is she rich?
Yeah.
But like, does she have wealth? Like
yes,
she has castles, but do they have wealth?
Literally, like the taxes that people pay go to like funding the monarchy.
Yes, but funding her Netflix account or funding like her
her
food choices,
covering up her son's
her
pedophilia,
her digestive biscuits. Oh yeah, that was pretty bad. Oh yeah, Andrew the Creep is her
son.
Yeah, that's terrible. But what if she's being grandmummy? Wait, no, who is she's grandmother of
William and Harry.
Okay, so what if she's having a day of being great grandmummy to little Louis, and he wants to watch Paw Patrol, and she's like, "Well, they cut off the Netflix, babes."
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig.
So sorry to everyone we offend with our terrible British accents.
Yeah, we say like this is truly like in honor. Like I wish, and we honestly like the second we can get to London, England, UK, any part of it. To do a tour, like we will be there.
Oh my god, and we'll be playing London Boy by Taylor Swift the entire time.
And I love how we keep, like, anytime we say something that could be a potentially, a country or a city or a state could be found, maybe rude, they think we're being rude, we offer to go on tour as if they're asking. No, we can make it better. It's like when you would hit your, like, sibling, and they'd start crying, and you'd be like, no, just hit me worse. Like, hit me, make it worse, yeah. Or like a friend or something. Okay. So, sorry, Louie, you're not watching Paw Patrol on your grandmommy's Netflix. Number 6, does Queen Elizabeth care that people use throne as a euphemism for toilet? Like, I always say, I'm going to the throne. Do you think she's like, bloody hell, stop that? Literally. We'll get to Gupdate.
I don't think that she talks to enough people who say that, so no.
Oh, you think that's more like... Yeah, maybe in the UK it's more like regal.
Yeah.
Number 7, does Queen Elizabeth care that she's left Charles with little to no time on the throne?
Good.
But do you think that keeps her up at night, or do you think she's like, I gotta keep taking these B12s because this idiot is not reaching the throne?
I think so. I think that's why she's still alive, is to make sure that he has as little time as possible up there, because he's a grade A loser.
In what way? I haven't seen The Crown.
Well, I mean, Diana. I'm pretty sure he had her king.
But do you actually think that she's like doesn't want him on the throne?
I don't want him on the throne, so I'm gonna say yes.
She probably heard. She probably listens to no one asked for this, and she's like, oh shoot.
She's actually our number 1 fan. She was our first download.
We have not to brag, but at the moment of recording this, we have 13 listens, and
so that's actually kind of a lot. That's about 13 more than I thought we were gonna get.
We're halfway to 26.
Woo!
My mom has subscribed. I don't know that she's listened. How about your mom?
My mom doesn't know that we're doing this.
Well, then this is a great announcement. We'll get it to her.
I don't know that my mom knows what podcasts are. That's why.
Well, we can just send her to her like in an email file.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can cater to her, and we'll just have to in our heads manually add the listen. So like it's technically going to be 14
for sure.
Exactly. And final one: does Queen Elizabeth care about that nobody asked for this podcast? Sorry. I think there's chats. I think Top Gun Maverick 2 is filming above us.
Actually, I think the British Army is coming for us.
These.
What are the air people called? Air Force.
The Marines?
No, the Marines are in the water.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, the Marines, they would be submarine.
For 2 new university graduates, we are some of the stupidest people on the planet.
We pretty much went to school online. If I ever need a lawyer or like a surgeon, I'm going to be like, excuse me, what year did you graduate? No hate. Like, if you got your degree online, like that was the circumstances you were given. But I just like, maybe just show me like your grades, maybe like,
yeah,
just in case. Because, did you have your textbook open while you were taking the bar?
Zoomversity?
Because I did, and I know the stuff that went down there. So I think just to put a royal pin in it, I'm going to say that in our heads, Queen Elizabeth does care about the Nobody Asked for this podcast.
Of course she does.
She does.
As you do too, dear listener.
What I don't think she gives a royal about is our next segment, which is about exactly that. Royal. It is time for
Gupdate!
Kat, did you have a Gupdate for us?
Yesterday, I woke up and I couldn't tell if my stomach hurt because I was nauseous and needed to eat something, or because I just had to just go to the throne, if you know what I'm saying.
Watch the throne, yeah.
Yeah. Update, I really just had to go to the throne.
That's good. That's always like a relief. You're like, oh, because I'd rather come out,
better that end
than the other. It's just the other end is painful. It burns.
Yeah, it's hurt. I mean, it can burn.
It can burn both ways, yeah.
If you had Taco Bell, oof.
As we talked about in the last episode.
Yeah.
So I don't have a specific Gupdate, but I have a Gupdate-related story. About 2 years ago, about a year after we had decided that we were going to get lip tattoos, but a year before we actually had to get them, I said, enough is enough. I get heartburn too much. Let me get some Tums. And I bought a thing of Tums. And yesterday, I Tummed for the last time. My Tums ran out.
Wow. I think that's even bigger than Lizzie.
I went through a bottle of Tums. And it took 2 years. Not bad. Not bad, 2 years. Well, and then the second part, which you can explain.
I was going through a bit of a gut crisis.
Ongoing.
Well, it was getting real bad there for a minute.
Yeah.
So I was like, what can I do to try to better this? So I bought a pack of Tums. And Then my gut crisis decided to, simmer down for a little bit. We've been kind of,
Thank the heavens.
it's been a little low key, nothing too crazy. Just a little gravel
Just-
here and there.
Just the flora's florating.
And so I was like, you know what? I don't really need these Tums, so I gifted them to my best friend, like the good person
Who?
that I am. Well, you might know him actually.
Is he holding a microphone right now?
He is.
Does he have dashing good looks?
I don't know that we're talking about the same person.
Does he have a pimple that makes it underneath his nose that makes it look like he has a constant nosebleed?
Yeah.
I look like 11. Should I
I've never
post a
watched that
picture?
show.
I watched the first season out of peer pressure. And by peer pressure, I mean I had no peers to pressure me, but I heard everyone else talking about it.
Yeah.
So I watched it. And now I just know that it's popular. It's cycled back. It's circled back. But yeah, so the positive, we have a positive story coming out of Gupdate. You just had regular,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to think of Tums, which will help just balance the flora. I bet if you looked into
Yeah.
it does terrible things for your flora, but
But you know what? It's more about the feeling right now.
exactly, we're here for a good time,
Not a long time.
not a long time. And actually, speaking of snacks, did you have anything to add?
No.
You're good. Speaking of snacks, I would like to introduce a new segment that we talked about yesterday. Would you like to introduce our newest segment? Okay, so by the shaking of the head, I'm going to say that you didn't listen to the voice note that I sent you.
Okay, here's the thing.
I'll explain. I sent her a
No.
voice note. I didn't want to type it out. I was on my way to work. I was saying kind of the plan for today and with all like other podcast related stuff. And she responded back in faster time than the voice note was. So I knew something was up.
No, I did not. That's a lie. Here's the thing. I kept trying to play it, but you didn't send it as a regular voice note.
It was too long.
So it would start playing, and then my phone would shut off, and then I have to re-listen to it again.
Oh, that's torture. Okay, that's
so
fine.
I
Yeah.
was at work, and I was trying to listen, and the Karens are just yapping at me, and
No.
I'm like, hold on, I need to listen to Francesco's voice note about the podcast. So I listened, I skimmed it.
Okay, in her defense, I could literally hear screaming children in the background
Yeah, when I sent my reply.
of her work. Yeah, so that's fine. I will explain it to all of us. How fun! What an honor! I am going to introduce a segment called Snack Graveyard. And
I do remember this.
Yeah, and what Snack Graveyard is each week we will each get to bring to the table. It'll be a sentimental moment.
Mhm.
We're gonna honor the snacks of the past, a snack that got
Mhm.
discontinued, a snack that no longer exists. I'm Australian.
Clear.
Nor-
Bathrooms free.
No longer exists.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does it have to be a snack? Or can it
No.
be any sort of food?
Food,
Okay.
but it's just Snack Graveyard sounds better. But it's going to be we're gonna honor a snack that doesn't exist anymore.
What's yours?
I have one. Would you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, mine is, and it's timely. It's
Mhm.
summertime. It's June. It's June here. The Ritz s'mores.
Oh my god.
Now let me explain what the Ritz s'mores are for those who may not know. They're similar to the cheese sandwiches, like the little.
Mhm.
They're the mini Ritz with the little fake cheese in it.
Or my personal favorite, the peanut butter one.
They still have those too.
Yeah.
But the s'mores one, it came in an identical packaging, but the inside bag was foil.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess all that goodness, they wanted
Yeah,
to make sure
They
it
wanted
stayed
to
in there.
trap in that marshmallow and trap in that chocolate.
And it was definitely a chocolate marshmallow cream, but I think it might have been a graham cracker as opposed to
Yeah.
a regular Ritz cracker, and it was so good.
So good.
So good. And it's just gone, gone too soon. I would say so. I would say
I
so.
would agree.
I wasn't done with it when it left, so I would say
I'm
it was
still
gone too
not done
soon.
with it.
No. And I still think about it constantly.
Yeah.
And they're not available anywhere. Like,
Mhm.
I've looked. I've trolled their social media. They haven't mentioned it since 2016.
Oh my god.
And I would pay money to get it shipped, but there's nowhere to ship it from. Where am I going to ship it from? Hell?
Yeah,
Heaven? Probably.
they're definitely in heaven.
They deserve to be in heaven. But you know where they are, definitely.
Not here.
The Snack Graveyard.
The snack graveyard.
Would you like to enter something into the Snack Graveyard?
My snack graveyard snack is not a snack. It could be a snack, depending on how hungry you are.
Yeah, well.
Is the McDonald's
Fajitas?
chicken fajita. Those nobody asked for them. Like, why did McDonald's feel the need to make a fajita?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But they're so good.
They're
All my mom used to eat at McDonald's.
Okay, so is it similar to the McWrap now? Like, what was the presentation style?
It was, chicken, some veggies, I think a little salsa pack on the side. There was some cheese.
But, like, they fajited it for
They
you.
fajited it. Yep.
For you.
It came rolled up like the breakfast burritos.
Yeah.
which Francesco has some feelings about these days.
I was gonna refrain, but yeah, the breakfast burritos. We went from a regular tortilla to a multigrain tortilla. Ruined the taste, ruined the flavor. We're already at McDonald's. Why are you giving us multigrain? So you can say that's healthy. We know it's not. We know the eggs just came off a truck from God knows where. Queen Elizabeth knows where.
Exactly.
It's not real food, and we're gonna encase that in a multigrain that makes it taste disgusting.
So therefore, honorable mention to the snack graveyard is the white tortilla from the McDonald's breakfast burritos.
Exactly. So now we have entered into the evidence locker the s'mores Ritz, the chicken fajitas, and the memory of the white tortilla used in a breakfast burrito from McDonald's.
They also use that in the fajitas. They're really good.
They do. And we're going to take a moment. In the arms of the angels, fly away. Okay, we can only do 10 seconds, or else they're going to sue us.
Yeah.
Sarah?
And our negative money.
Sarah McLaughlin doesn't need to sue us. She's already getting those, like, PETA checks, or from the SPCA.
I think it's SPCA.
Where she's like, hi, I'm Sarah McLaughlin, and I'm going to ruin your day with this terrible... Well, it's a good ad, but it's a sad ad.
Yeah.
It's a sad ad.
That's how they get you.
So, really, the only thing left, the only recurring segment would be the content recap. Do you have any content to recap?
I haven't been consuming a lot of content. I've really, been waking up at the ass crack of dawn, going to work, coming home, working out, taking a nap, and then having dinner and going to bed.
No, that's fair.
That's literally been my life
You're
lately.
busy running your empire.
I do run a empire.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, the only content I've really been consuming, and this isn't even a joke, is the Nobody Asked for This podcast. In the editing of this, I've probably listened to our podcast 80 times. I'm so sick of our voices. But it actually, because I always hated my voice, I actually think it was good, not aromatherapy, exposure therapy. I actually think that I could do the opening from memory. Okay, well, I think we've done it for a second time.
Oh my goodness.
Do you have anything else on your heart? We have 26% left on the laptop, so
wow, that's actually a whole lot.
Free away.
Do you want to just freestyle rap? I don't know.
Do you have anything? No stone left unturned.
I could say one thing. It would be stream Fearless, Taylor's version, and Red, Taylor's version on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you consume your music.
And while you're on your phone,
you gotta go to the little search bar. You're gonna type in "Nobody Asked for This," and you're gonna hit that subscribe button. Maybe hit that bell. Maybe give us a like. All the buttons.
Whatever you got to do. Actually, the easiest way to probably find us. Here's the thing: if you're listening to this, you found us. It's like when the teacher would be like, "Why is nobody showing up to class?" and start lecturing about how no one shows up to class, and you're like, "Well, you're talking to the people that showed up." So if you're listening to this, you found us. But the easiest way to, I think, direct other people to us would be send them a link to whatever platform, or we do have a website technically. We
have a couple of social media accounts.
Go to podcast nobodyaskforthis.podbean.com. I know Podbean is an interesting name. It was not my choice. It was Mr. Bean's. It was Mr. Bean, but it'll bring you to a website that you can play the episodes from there. You'll find all our social media on there. You can click links to our Spotify, our Apple Podcasts, and you can find
Podcasts?
Google. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Pandora. There's not even Pandora in this country, but if you're in a country that has Pandora, I think listen on Pandora just for the sake of it. I just said not in this country, so I guess they could reverse engineer.
Well, I mean, they've already been reverse engineering, so
for our co-star, yeah.
Duh.
We're stars. Well, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you stuck with us this far, you're a real one.
We're going to dedicate this one to Queen Elizabeth and the fallen Prince Phillip.
I'm going to dedicate this one to Taylor Swift.
They're all going to be dedicated to Taylor Swift. And as we always say, if you liked it, tell a friend. Always, I mean, in the past one episode.
If you didn't like it, tell a friend.
No, tell an enemy. And be like, yeah, so if I have an enemy, right, I'm going to be like, hey.
But if a friend of a friend, or an enemy of a friend, what?
It's your friend. No, but if you have an enemy and you don't like them, but you thought this show was so terrible and unendurable,
you should send it to them.
Send it to them, and then it's like torturing your friend, and you don't have to do anything.
Exactly.
And we get a...
Or your enemy. Torturing your enemy.
You're torturing your enemy, and we get to listen from it. So really, that's how the world revolves. I think that's how the world goes around. Oh, we'll see you next week. Bye.
See you next Tuesday.
Thursday.